7 minutes to 9 now. Philosophers are in the business of dealing with the more profound, not to say immensely difficult questions. Where did we come from? Why are we here? They've been trying to find the answers for thousands of years, and they're still trying, but they needn't bother. They should leave it to science. It's scientists who have the answers because they deal in facts. Well, that's pretty much the conclusion of a new book, On Being, by the Oxford scientist Professor Peter Atkins, who's with me now. And I'm also joined by the eminent philosopher Mary Midgley. Your argument in a nutshell, Professor.
Strangest thing, really, isn't it? Tony's off for lunch again. I swear that man gets earlier and earlier every time. He's going to meet himself having breakfast one day. You all right, old fellow?
Well, there are three ways of getting knowledge about the world. One is to refer to holy books, one is to think about what it should be, and the third is to go out and see what it's like. And I favour the last. And that's what science is all about. So what I wanted to do is to show how myths, which emphasise the importance of these great questions in everyday life, have given way to truth.
Oh, yes, sorry, I'm just...
Oh, come on, whatever it is, I'm with you, it can't be that bad.
I just can't help feeling that, you know, my life is grey and hopeless.
But if I were to ask you why are we here, you couldn't answer that question. As a scientist, you couldn't answer
Yes, I
that
could.
question.
It's just by accident.
Oh.
We've just tumbled into being.
As the world becomes more technically efficient, it seems increasingly necessary for people to behave communally and collectively. Now, do you think it possible that the highest development of man may be to submerge his own individuality in a kind of collective consciousness?
That's hardly possible. I think there will be a reaction.
And once the universe is in existence, then it's more or less inevitable that we and our brains tumble into existence.
Dr. Midgley, you might as well pack it in.
Grey and hopeless? Grey and hopeless?
Well, what Professor Atkins says is, of course, not itself a scientific theory, it is a philosophical view. That is, it's a view about the relation between different ways of thinking.
Our sun, like nearly all the stars we can see with the naked eye, sits inside the galaxy we call the Milky Way. But our galaxy is not alone in the universe.
A reaction will set in against this communal dissociation. You know, man doesn't stand forever his nullification. Once there will be a reaction, and I see it setting in. You know, when I think of my patients, they all seek their own existence, and to assure their existence against that complete atomization into nothingness or into meaninglessness. Man cannot stand a meaningless life. Man cannot stand a meaningless life.
Oh, come on now. Look at you, you've got a lovely wife. Well, you've got a wife. You've got a very pleasant house, 3 loving goldfish.
Well, it's typical of a philosopher who verging on the edge of being a theologian to wonder about non-questions. And one of the non-questions is the meaning of life. There isn't any.
The visible universe contains around 100 billion galaxies. Each one of those galaxies contains around about 100 billion stars. That means the visible universe contains something like 10,000 million stars.
What does it mean? You know, we live in a doomed world.
The question why we are here is, in his view, just a causal question about the physical events. Now, when people ask a question like that, they're not asking about the physical events. They are asking about the relation between the various ways in which they perceive the world, about the sorts of understanding that we can use when we want to make sense.
Oh, nonsense. What do you mean, doomed? Nobody likes anybody anymore. Nobody cares about anybody or anything.
I'm an optimist.
As a scientist, you're an optimist.
I mean,
we know the world's going to end, the universe, something's going to burn out.
We can have fun before it does.
Cities are unbreathable, the countryside's a poisonous mess.
I can't
And a part of the fun is understanding the nature of the world.
There's no pleasure in anything except in getting drunk or high on dangerous drugs supplied by maniacs with machine guns.
And one of the non-questions is the meaning of life. There isn't any.
Politicians are so feeble-minded and gutless you can't even hate them.
I suspect you're in your 90s now. I know, Dr. Mesley, but I suspect you've had a bit of fun being a philosopher over the years, haven't you?
Certainly so, and also some distress.
Even sport isn't that much fun anymore, is it?
Views like these.
You smile at someone on the street, you're either nice in the kidneys or up in court for
identifying the
rape.
deep questions and talks as if it was only
Looking at a
that would
newspaper is
only
like opening a fold of used lavatory.
There isn't any.
Television, you sprayed in common
that
vomit.
is obviously absurd. The deep
pretty
question
easy
that
to
people
one of them.
well, because the deep question that people are always asking is the meaning of human life.
But there is no any.
Putting together the different elements of human life.
There isn't any.
And
One of
as such,
the meaning of life. There isn't any.
extremely
One of them.
imperialistic. They suggest in the physical
There isn't
science,
any.
which exists
One of
to
them.
study physical science,
The meaning of life.
can in
There
fact
isn't
study
any.
all
One of
sorts
them.
of things. It is a suitable way of
There isn't
for
any.
instance, for doing history, which obviously if you have a logical problem, you ask about physical science. If you have a mathematical problem, you ask physical science. These are obviously absurd.
Every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on the mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam.